Mr. Bingley is continuing his statement. I was putting away folding chairs on the east side of the classroom. I saw two girls messing around in the two east windows. One of them threw something out the window. Did either girl have a ponytail? Asked Rachel. No, you're talking about that tall girl. She's the one with the ponytail. But she wasn't in the east windows. The two girls I'm talking about did have longish hair, but neither had a ponytail. Then I was called to help set up for lunch. I had to hustle because the cafeteria is all the way on the west side of the classroom. All right, so that tells us a few pieces of information. The tall girl, who's Kim Lee, has the ponytail. So we're going to put an O there and X in the rest of that column and the rest of that row. And that tells us that Samir has the crew cut. So now this whole box is settled there. Then he mentions that he was called to set up for lunch and he had to go all the way on the west side of the classroom. So that tells us that Lenny has to be assigned the east side window because the teacher doesn't like to put him where he can watch the cafeteria. So that means that Lenny is assigned the seat 4. So we're going to put an O there and X for the rest of that column. And then it tells us, because Kim Lee we know has to sit in front of him, she'll be sitting in 5. So we're going to put an X there, an O there, and then X for the rest of that column and row. And then that tells us that Samir must have been starting at number 1 and that Michaela was assigned to seat 2. Okay, so then we have everybody's this box finished, this box finished, this box finished. So now let's see what we can do a little more housekeeping. So Michaela ended at seat 5, so we're going to put that here. She ends at seat 5. We'll put X's in the rest of that row and the rest of that column. Let's see, what do we know? Samir ended at seat 3, so we can fill that in. O for there, X's in the rest of that column and row. Then we have Barbara, and she ended at seat 4, which we already had. Then we have Lenny, he ends at seat 1, so we're going to put that in there. O, and then X for the rest of that column and row and column, and then that leaves us with Kim Lee ending at seat 2. So we'll put an O there. So that takes care of that. All right, now let's see what else we can do. Now Samir, we've figured out how to crew cut. So we can add that. So Samir has a crew cut. And we can fill that in. And that. And then let's see, Kim Lee, we know has a ponytail. So here's Kim Lee's column, and she has a ponytail, so we're going to put an O there. Fill in the rest of that column and row. Lenny, we already know has dreadlocks, so we're going to fill that in and fill in the rest of that row and column. And that leaves Michaela with the ringlets. So now that one's all nice and done. And now let's take care of this box here. So the crew cut, and that's Samir. He ends at seat 3. So fill that in. And we already did Lenny's dreadlocks. The ponytail is Kim Lee, and she ends at seat 2, so we can fill that in. All right, that box is all done. All right, now let's look at the different sizes. The giant, we already know, is Lenny, and he was assigned seat 4, so let's fill that in for him. And X is in the rest of that row and column. The tall person is Kim Lee, and she was assigned a seat 5, so we'll put that in there. And X is in the rest of that row and column. The average person, we haven't figured out yet, and neither the short or tiny, so we have to leave those there. Then now we're going to do, let's see what we know here. The crew cut, we don't know yet, but we know that's not tall because Samir is the crew cut and Kim Lee is tall. And we also know he's not tiny. Ponytail we know is Kim Lee and she's tall. So we'll put X's in the rest of that row and column. The ringlets, we haven't figured out her size yet, and neither have the waves. Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff there. And now let's go on.